I remember the first time I was alone on Christmas. I was in an airport in 2008 after taking a Christmas trip to Arizona with one of my brothers. I was on the phone with my family back home in New England, and everybody was having a blast, opening gifts, eating great food, and sharing games with each other. I remember the depth feeling of loneliness, like I'd totally missed out, that I would never do this again. Well, unfortunately, this year, this is a very unique year. A lot of people are going to be alone during the holidays, separated from the ones they love, separated from the ones that they're used to spending these holiday seasons with. And truthfully, it's weird. The holidays provoke a lot of old emotion and it's a lot of nostalgia. So that can be a doubly hard time to be alone. So in this video, we want to talk about ways to cope with being alone during the holiday season and being alone versus being lonely.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that being alone is not the same as being lonely. And during this time of year, I think we are sort of trained through social conditioning, through marketing, that if you're not surrounded by a bunch of people like in the movies, if you're not gathered around the fire with your family, that something's missing. But that's just a comparison. You don't have to be surrounded by people to still have a great time, to still feel that connection. And I think it's interesting you mentioned that you were talking to them and you felt like you were, would you say you were part of that whole thing when you were on the phone with them? Or
it definitely helped to spend more time on the phone with them. But for me, being that the first Christmas I was out of the circle, it was sad. It was definitely sad. And I also want to say, part of being alone is I've been with family and felt alone at the same time too. So we want to address physically being alone and then how to how to bridge into deeper connections and how to have a great holiday.
Wow,
and finding intentional people that you really feel connected with, that you really can cultivate that joy of the holiday season with.
I love that. So I think the first thing is to just be intentional and to plan ahead. Because if you're, looking at this and going, well, I'm not going to be traveling, I'm probably not going to see that person or that person or that person. Instead of just kind of leaving it to the way it is, you can make plans. You can call those people. I think these days we have the wonderful, wonderful tool of video calls, and you can actually see them. It maybe feels like different in some level, but you're seeing them, you're talking to them, and you're making some time, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, to just be with them however you can. And I think a lot of the time when people are going into these situations where they can't visit their family, we fall prey to overthinking and all or nothing thinking in particular, where it's like, either I'm going to see them, it's going to be great, or I'm not going to see them at all. Well, just something in the middle is fine. Video chat, call, basically schedule calls with friends and family so that you can do what you can. It's about doing what you can during this time.
Yeah, and I would encourage you too that you don't just have to have a call where you're just face to face sitting there. Have them set up the phone or the computer while they're eating dinner so you can see what your little nephew says, so you can witness the baby squeal and cry when they try the cake for the first time. It's like, do what you can literally means just be assertive about being open to what you can do. And so if you are catching these moments, and even if you're not physically there, I can guarantee you're going to feel a hell of a lot better with everything like that. So the next step is to really be careful with your comparison. Be careful with your social media intake. You may be looking at pictures of people who are with their wives or with their kids, and you're by yourself in an apartment alone on the holidays. So really take a break from social media to watch out for comparison.
Yeah.
It's a thief of joy.
Yeah, I recommend shutting it down. Like take this time of year and use it as a chance to kind of detox from all the content, all the information. Go on an information fast, I like to call it, where you're just cutting out all the news, all the social media posts, and kind of coming back to your core self, coming back to what you want your life to and holidays to be like, and not influenced by the media, the marketing, and telling you that you're a failure if you're not surrounded by 50 people and exchanging gifts and stuff. The other big thing is when it comes to like mental health coping techniques, it's a lot about what do you believe that this time of year is supposed to be, and what do you believe about being alone? Because some people, they have an association with being alone that it immediately means that they're lonely. You know, if they're, for example, if you're alone on a Friday night, it's somehow worse than being alone on a Tuesday night because of this expectation to, go out. And all of this it's just relative, right? It's the belief. If nobody never told you that you're supposed to go out on Friday nights, or nobody ever told you that you're supposed to be with your family during Christmas, then that feeling would not be nearly as strong. And ultimately, we have to take the context into mind. If you're sick on a Friday night, you can't go out. If you're, can't travel this holiday season, then you just can't see your family, and that's fine. Maybe you don't have anyone to go see either. That's still fine. This belief of like I am somehow deficient or there's something wrong with my life if I don't have a bunch of people to go see this year, that's coming from a belief. That's coming from something that you've been trained to believe in terms of I can't ever be alone. I'm not supposed to be alone because that's bad. You can have a lot of fun alone.
Absolutely. And building on the being open and assertive, engage in something special. Just engage. If you're engaged, you're not going to be thinking as much. So reach out to your neighbors. Find a safe way to connect with people around who are in a similar situation as you. Set up a plan to do something really special. Maybe there's a cool arts and crafts project. Maybe you want to have a movie marathon. Maybe you want to reach out to some friends in the area to take a hiking trip or something like that during the holidays. Just engage and be open and assertive about filling up that time. Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to feeling lonely when you are surrounded by people, that can also be a real thing. And fundamentally, one of the fastest, most surefire ways to get out of that is to open up about something that you'd rather not talk about. When we feel disconnected from the people around us, usually we're hiding something. Usually the persona that we're presenting to them is not really authentic to you. And so they are interacting with this facade. And so when you are, even though you're with them, you can still feel lonely. The most surefire way to break out of that is to take a look at, like, what have you been meaning to say? What is that conversation that you've just been avoiding? And is there a way to take that person to the side and just say, like, go out on the porch or something and just talk for 10 minutes in a totally honest, transparent way so that maybe they say, wow, I didn't know you felt like that. Or, wow, I'm so glad you told me about that. It'll make you feel nervous. You'll feel the butterflies as you're saying it, and that's a good sign that that's something worth saying. And you'll notice once you're done with that conversation, the amount of connection and the amount of just loneliness is totally improved.
Yeah, for more information on that, check out part 1 of this series. So, guys, just remember that even though you may be alone during this holiday season, you certainly don't have to be lonely. And also remember that no matter where you are, no matter how long you've been struggling or how stressful the holiday season is, you're never stuck. You might just need some support. This could be the best holiday season ever, even if you are alone. So for Ennis, I'm Jim. We're Inner Solutions. Guys, lots of love in the holiday season. And remember, good mental health.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
that's
ding,
it,
ding,
dude.
ding.